Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJs Garage. Behind me is a 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, and this is the final edition. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about it, and I am very excited to get my hands on one of these. The first thing I want to say is that it's kind of ironic. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, the one thing the Evo did not do is evolve. You've got the STI, you've got the Golf R, and those cars have come a long way. But for some reason, Mitsubishi decided they're going to keep this Evolution the same way, and it just has not evolved. I find that pretty ironic. So my question is it worth getting a final edition? Is it actually that special? Are you getting a whole lot more Evo for the price? Is it just something that's worth hanging on to because it's going to become a future collectible? Or is Mitsubishi just giving you a bunch of final edition badges and a little bit of red accents and taking away our Recaro seats just to say they're giving you a final edition of a car? I'm a big fan of the Evo because not only is it an awesome car, but the Evo's been around since 1992. And you know what else came out in 1992? This guy. So if you're a 90s baby like myself, be sure to hit that like button because this car is awesome and so are we. So I know that a lot of people might not love the looks of the Evo, but I gotta say that this car to me is very gorgeous. It's very handsome and the styling is beautiful, especially the front grille. I love the front grille and I love the rear end. Yes, that sounds weird. I love the rear end of this car though. Down here, you get slotted rotors, Brembo brakes of course, and 18-inch wheels, and I think they make the car look really nice. And as far as braking goes, nice and aggressive, nice and sharp. So I want to show you guys one of the badges I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, it says Final Edition, so you know that this is the final edition of the Lancer Evolution made by Mitsubishi. This is another piece that not everyone loves, but I love this spoiler on the Evos. I think it actually looks really, really good. And when you're driving, it actually doesn't take up too much of your rear visibility. It just sits right in the middle and you can see it, and it reminds you that you're driving an awesome, awesome car. So trunk space back here isn't the worst. It's not the best either. You lose a little bit of space because you have your battery back here and your windshield washer reservoir. As far as rear seats go, they're plenty usable. You can fit a car seat back here, and there's really not much else to say. It's pretty plain. I don't even think the rear passengers get many vents back here or anything. So it's pretty simple Mitsubishi typical car. For this review, I thought it was only fitting to wear my Fear No Evo shirt, even though I'm driving an Evo and I love WRX STIs, but it is what it is. There isn't much to say about the Evo's interior. It's pretty much focused on performance, so this car's interior is pretty standard Mitsubishi. On this final edition, Mitsubishi decided to get rid of the Recaro seats, and that's kind of a bummer. One of the cool quirks of this Mitsubishi Evolution is that you don't actually have to have a regular key. You just have this little twisty little push button plastic thing right here. So you just keep the key in your pocket, push down, and turn, and it's just like a regular key that stays in there. Not much has changed on the final edition. We're up to 303 horsepower from the previous 291. Still a 5-speed manual, and it goes 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. The best way to describe the Evo is that it's raw. It's pure, just driving enthusiasm. I like to think of the Evo as the person that likes to tell you to go faster and drive harder. And that's exactly what the Evo does. All right, so we're in second gear. I'm just gonna get on it a little bit, nothing crazy. If you are ever confused as to what the purpose of the Evo is, just get in the interior and it'll answer that question for you right away, because there isn't anything frilly, there isn't anything crazy nice. You've got, you know, regular knob climate controls. You've got a very small touchscreen interface. So thanks Mitsubishi for that. But this car is all about driving. That's all you're supposed to want. So you get a nice transmission, you get a nice engine, and that's it. What else could you ask for? I'll tell you. I could ask for one more gear. Every time I shift into fifth and I'm getting on it, I'm like, man, I just want to shift. Oh, wait, that's reverse. I could definitely use one more gear in this car. The reason Mitsubishi does this is because they want to try to keep this car right in the power band. But the thing is, I can downshift, I can drive a manual, so no thanks Mitsubishi, let me drive the car and get that 6th gear so that I can control everything that I do. When you get in this car, you'll notice the clutch is really heavy, which is not a bad thing. I came from driving a WRX and I've driven the STIs. It's a similar feel to that. So unless you are used to like the BMW clutches that are super light, or even the Ford Focus clutches that are super light, it's really not a bad clutch and it makes driving pretty fun. You're definitely gonna have a super strong left leg and your calf muscles are gonna be bulging, but is that a bad thing? you just feel like driving aggressively. And it's because when the turbo kicks in, it throws you in the back of your seat. So everything with the Evo is pretty aggressive. Another downside I found is that I don't like the engagement point for the clutch. You kind of have to lift your leg pretty high up, and that's not something I'm a fan of. I wish that they would lower that just a hair. And it's kind of a similar feel on the WRXs and STIs, but not as bad. I feel like the Evo is a little bit higher. The suspension's nice as far as rally car nice, but if you want to live with this car every day, prepare for your rear end to hurt quite a bit, because you feel everything on the road, and I mean everything. So your spine is going to be constantly moving and jamming and everything bad. I can't think of any adjectives right now, but it's not going to be a pleasant experience. There isn't a whole lot to say about this Evo that hasn't already been said. The steering feels great. It's nice and responsive. You can put this car wherever you want and it'll go right there. It instills confidence, which is always a plus when talking about rally cars or anything like that. You've got the different modes, so you can put it in tarmac, snow, gravel, whatever it may be. And again, it adjusts accordingly, and this car instills confidence. I won't bore you guys with the driving details of the Evo. It speaks for itself. The car is fun. It's amazing. There's really no negatives other than the suspension and missing that 6th gear. You just have to drive one. It's raw fun. It's just fun, fun, fun. I always find it fascinating that Mitsubishi was able to pull 303 horsepower from a 2-liter. Like, that just blows my mind, the kind of engineering it takes to make this kind of power. I know it's not 500 horsepower, but it's still good, usable power. I want you guys to be safe out there, and remember, drive safe, because someone cares about you. I care about you. So I can say that I've checked off something off my bucket list. I drove a Mitsubishi Evo Final Edition, and I just want to thank you guys for checking out yet another episode of LJ's Garage. Be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what your favorite 4-cylinder, turbocharged, 4-door sports car is. And it better be the Evo, or else.